Hey, what's up? Okay, so first off, I'm doing the games for social impact. That's basically a game jam. What's a game jam? It's basically a hackathon in my opinion. What's a hackathon? Well, it's basically a game jam. And what's a game jam? A game jam is basically a competition where for I think let's say 24 hours. That's typically the one I know, 24 hours or 48 hours. You have that amount of time to build a game under a specific theme. I don't know if it's a similar thing for a hackathon, but that's just more of build an app, build a technology under a specific theme. But funny enough, for Steel Hacks, there wasn't a theme. There were different tracks. For the games for social impact, I don't think there's going to be a specific theme unless it's something like, oh, build games for social impact, which I could technically argue Dooku is a game for social impact. Let me actually turn on the lights here if I can. Um, but yeah, really excited about that. I think after the hackathon, I really just wanted to build more stuff. And I think building stuff in competitions under a short amount of time is a great way to do stuff. Because like in that 24 hours, 48 hours, and so on, I only have that thing to work on, right? I'm not working on an essay. I'm not working on a project here and there. I'm just focusing on that app, that game. So I think it's really a great way to just stay at my computer and just keep on coding and planning stuff. Um, so I'm really excited about that. I think I got to do with a website technically, and I got to implement different APIs from Gemini and stuff like that. So then doing with a game, and I'm most likely going to use the Godot game engine will be really fun. But I think honestly after the hackathon, the largest sentiment I've gotten is I can actually build stuff, and I don't know. I've had like bits and pieces, sparks here and there of realizing I can do that. But I think the hackathon was a big one because, like, wait a minute, I'm actually building something. Um, so yeah, so even now, what I've been doing today, kind of, I just been scrolling on Y Combinator, and Y Combinator is basically this. I think venture capital is the word, but basically, there's this venture capital that invests in a lot of startups, largely tech startups. So you can think of Instacart. I think they invested in Meta. They've invested in different startups that you probably use now. I was like, oh dang, what if I can build a startup? Because I've been thinking about what I want to do after college, and there's a couple different paths I'm looking at. So there's doing a 5 year program at Pitt, and that's getting my master's, right? But let's say even after the master's or my bachelor's, right? I'm thinking I want to probably go into the industry, and then let's say I'm doing machine learning engineering. I might also want to get my PhD. But then what I've been thinking is that I first want to get into the industry first and see what is it like. Do I really like this? Do I want to learn more about this specific topic? And then if I really do really want to learn more, then I'm going to try and get my PhD. But if I don't, right, then maybe I'll try and do my own startup. And the thing about the startup for me is that I don't like I would love to work at a company that's doing a lot of cool stuff, but at the same time I also want to build my own idea. So I don't know like what's the perfect amount of time to stay at a company before you go and venture off on your own. I have heard that it's best to do a startup when you're young and you have less people relying on you because like you don't want to do a startup. Actually, I don't. I personally, when I say this, I don't know for sure. But you don't want to do a startup. Let's say if you have a family that's financially relying on you, but then that might be different for everyone. I just because at the Google talk or when I went to go tour at Google with the Pitt CSE Club, one of the people there who did a startup recommended that you probably want to do it in your younger years because it's easier in terms of not worrying about oh if your kid is going to eat that day. Um, However, just to get to, I do think that if you're more experienced, then you have more experience to apply to that startup. But that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's where I'm looking at in terms of career paths. So that's why I've been thinking about. That's why I've been more interested in startups. Because then another thing, like disregarding this whole chart or whatever, I've been thinking, what if I tried doing a startup in college, or at least try having a business on the side? Um, and that's what because I hate when I see money leave my account for something like if I'm giving money to donate to someone, then that's cool, right? That's really awesome. But if it's like I spend money on food or if it's a subscription service, I get really annoyed and it ruins my mood for like the next 20 minutes or an hour, right? So I want to kind of have a business just to like practice my skills and also not worry about income at all. So I've been thinking if I should have a business here, but then I've also been thinking maybe that'll detract too much from my studies. So it's been a background conversation for a while now in terms of businesses, career paths. So that's why I'm really interested in this whole idea of building stuff, because if I could really find something that I could build and make commercially viable, that I could have my own business even in college. But then I don't know to what level I'll be able to scale. 'Cause I don't want to drop out of college just for different reasons. Um, I probably should have organized this video better, but that's been just what's been going on in the back of my head for a while now. Hence why I'm excited to do the social gain for social impact, because I think I'm gonna get a better idea of my programming skills and the stuff I want to build. Like they are on my phone and my iPad. If you wanted to steal something from, like I say, you rob me. I think the least valuable thing you could rob me of is my wallet. If you rob my phone or my iPad and you were able to unlock it and just go into my notes app, you have a bunch of ideas that I think are worth so much more than I even know. Um, but please don't rob me. I think that would be a very sucky experience. But yeah, that's really just my thoughts for now. Besides, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.